We're gonna blow some minds tonight.
Let's do it.
I love to cook, but I always have wanted to take things to another level.
We're going to do some damage in this kitchen.
Yay! No, this was so exciting for me to do. It's always been on my list of things. I've wanted to do a plant-based cooking show for a very long time. I've been vegan for I don't know, over 30 years. More than that, I've always kind of been vegetable based. And it's just, I don't know. So it's like a dream come true. It was a lot of fun to kind of retrofit the barn and have a beautiful place to cook and bring people. I didn't know everybody would come. I was like, I didn't know all these people. I even said to my son, I said, I don't know if people are going to want to come all the way to Vancouver Island, planes, trains, and automobiles to get here. But they did. They did. And they loved it.
You also had a cookbook that was released recently. I love you. Miss Anderson, where'd your love of cooking come from?
I learned how to cook very young because I ate differently than my family. So, and plus it really clicked to me, it really clicked in me when I realized, vegetables don't come from a can. They come from a garden. And then I realized, well, it gave me the safe feeling, and I brought it with me, and I have always, I had neighbors, or I had friends, or my boyfriend's mothers. I always took an interest in the kitchen, and I always helped them, and then I decided that that was just something. I've always made beautiful meals and presented beautiful experiences. If it was birthday parties or whatever, I'm always the one to do that. And so I felt like that would be nice to kind of bring that into a show and show the kind of the setting the table part of it too, and the craft element and everything. And it was fun to make candles with oyster shells and stuff. I don't know. I know I'm all over the place these days. I mean, I got a movie in theaters, I've got a cooking show, and then this renovation show. It all happens at once. But this has been over the last 3 years. The cooking show and the cookbook were supposed to come out at the same time, and then Chorus rearranged their schedule, and they had some internal changes, and so it came out now. So yeah, but I just hope people don't get sick of me.
I don't think that's likely to happen. Cooking with Love. I watched the first two episodes with Gabe and Gregory. And I'm one of those people who I'm a little intimidated in the kitchen. I'm sure a lot of other people are as well. Miss Anderson, what do you say? What's your advice to people who are maybe scared to try new things, intimidated in the kitchen? Because some of these look pretty, not, I wouldn't say easy, but stuff people could make.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's important to me too. When I wrote my cookbook and I wrote this, I wanted to make it not, it's not quick and fast. Some things are faster than others, but it's about really enjoying the process of cooking, making a beautiful environment to cook in, and maybe making something for yourself first, and then sharing it with other people. Or it's just the human connection, and dinner parties, I think, are kind of a lost art. We've all isolated so much in these last few years, and I hope that it's fun to share your meal and experiences with people, and just dinner conversation. And I don't know, there was a lot I wanted to bring to this, and hopefully, in the few episodes that we did, it comes across just my, authentic, true love of family and friends. And I don't know, it was just a lot of fun.
In the show, one of the episodes, you talk about your approach to being cooking with compassion. I think you call it. All the dishes are vegan. You're, a huge animal rights supporter. How did that become a cause that's so close to your heart, Miss Anderson?
Well, I've always been the one people brought their, misfits to. If it was a dog with three legs, or a cat that walked sideways, or a bird with a broken wing, I always was always the one that people came to bring their animals to. I had this real connection. My dad's sister was deaf, and she took care of all the feral cats in the neighborhood, and I always felt like she had this secret language with animals that I wanted to learn. And so she taught me a lot as well. But when I was on Baywatch, I was getting so much attention for my personal life and things that weren't really to matter to me, and I thought I wanted to share the attention with something more meaningful, and animals. And there's animal rights issues in every country, and so I joined forces with friends that worked for animal charities, and I just brought that. I thought I could always include a message with some of the other things I had to talk about. So that was part of the reason. And we saw laws change. There were animal rights laws implemented in place where there were none. I spoke to world leaders about, you know, the killer whales and fighting against captivity for these beautiful creatures. Just all these, it was what gave me meaning. It's what gave my career meaning in all these years and leading up to now. And that's just always been a really important part of my life and career and passion and goals.
It's so cool. You've changed a lot of hearts and minds with that. So I thank you for that. I think it's really neat. Um, when we spoke, I don't know if it was 5 or 6 years ago, you had just moved back to Ladysmith. You moved back to Canada, and some of that is documented in your other series, Garden of Eden. But I never asked you. What prompted that in the first place to come back home?
I just knew it was time to go back and remember who I was. I wanted to be around the trees that knew me since birth. I wanted to come home. I bought this property from my grandmother. I guess I don't know if it was 35 years ago now. She lived out her life here, and when she passed away, I just kind of abandoned this place. And so when I came back, I got to renovate it, and I'm still, it's constant renovation. But I also thought that was kind of a metaphor for myself. I was trying to remember who I was, and I was getting into the garden and really kind of getting my hands dirty again. And I thought, this is who I am. I'm this, little tomboy from Ladysmith that kind of somehow took her first plane ride to LA and had this life and then just came back, and I felt so comforted coming home. And now I stay home, and then I, dip in and out of different, work and things like that. But this is really important to me to stay grounded, and I rediscovered myself. So it was really important.
Ms. Anderson, you're also having a moment with Last Showgirl in theaters, and it's such a great movie. I hope people check it out. What drew you to the role of Shelley?
She felt like this. It was an interesting character to play. She was such a well-rounded character, just that she was doing the best she could with the tools that she has. And I think that's so relatable. And, there's no perfect way to be a parent. There's no perfect way to chase your dreams selflessly. There's a selfish element to it. And so that's playing the dance between um, looking after your family, looking after your love life. It's just life is hard. And I wanted to discover who were the women holding up the rhinestones. I mean, these were dreams. These were probably dancers that worked their whole life and got too tall or weren't didn't quite make it as a ballerina, but were still a showgirl. It was so important to them. And then to have to redefine themselves, you hit a crossroads, and we all hit crossroads many times in our life and new chapters. And I thought, wow, I have so much I can bring to this character just from my own life experience. And so I was just perfect timing. It was just, I needed to do it. And it was very therapeutic, but it was also really fun and a lot of hard work and focus. And when I saw it on the screen for the first time at TIFF with the cast, I was really pleased because I didn't see myself up there. I saw Shelley. And I think I've never experienced that before. And then I thought, wow, okay, I get it. Like I get the process and what I went through to get there and now I'm just anxious to do it again.
When you were at the Toronto Film Festival, I don't know if I read an interview with you or I heard you talking about this, but it didn't come to you. I mean, Gia Coppola, who wrote the movie, directs the movie, like had a hard time getting you that script. Is that true?
Well, Kate Gersten wrote the script she wrote it as a play a long time ago, and then Gia discovered it, and she saw the documentary that my son produced on me and thought I had to be her Shelley. So she sent the script to an old agent while I was in Ladysmith in my garden. He turned it down within the hour, so she realized, oh, well, Pamela hasn't read it if it's turned down so quickly. And I don't know why he turned it down. He could have sent it to me. But then she went on to look for my son, and then she found Brandon. Brandon met with her, and I still didn't know anything about it at this point. And then Brandon sent me the script, and I loved it so much, and so I was really happy. But that's what happens with with really great, with really interesting things in your life, it usually, sometimes it almost slips through your fingers, which makes it even more precious. And that's what made me even more, I realized, wow, I almost didn't even know this existed. So I thought I have a responsibility to put everything into it.
You were nominated for a Golden Globe and a SAG. What does it feel like to get that kind of recognition now at this stage of your career?
Well, it's taken me a little bit while to get used to because it's quite intimidating walking into those rooms with people that, I've admired, like, Demi Moore and Nicole Kidman and Tilda Swinton. And, but these women are so wonderful and so embracing of me and put their arms around me when they see me. It's just, but it took me a minute to kind of get used to that. But I'm really happy. I'm obviously overjoyed, but also very, I don't know what's happening. It's just I'm enjoying every minute of it. I've never been happier, and I have no pressure because I feel like I'm a little bit of the wild card. So it's exciting.
Has it led to other movies? I mean, you're going to be in the Naked Gun reboot. And I am obsessed. I was obsessed with those movies growing up. Has it led to other roles?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did 3 films last year. I did, Showgirl was in January, and then I shot Naked Gun, and then I shot this movie called Rosebush Pruning with a director that I absolutely love, Kareem Anouz, and a great young ensemble cast of incredible actors. Um, so, and then, I'm always now I'm promoting all these films, so I'm just all over the place, and I've been speaking with incredible directors and actors, and it's it's really interesting now that I've met people in person and the offers that kind of come to you. It's really all about networking and being around these people, which I didn't think it was, but it really is a big part of it.
What can you tell me about Naked Gun? Anything?
Oh, I mean, just that Liam is hysterical, and Leslie Nielsen was a dramatic actor, and then he did this franchise of Naked Gun, but Liam's the same way. Liam is so funny, so hard to keep a straight face. I mean, I'm literally running into walls, something I've always wanted to do. Singing, I mean, there's just it's over the top, it's funny. I mean, all the Saturday Night Live guys are involved. Akiva Schaffer is a great director, and he had his guys with him. Um, it's all about the laughs. It's all about it's it's like one big
I can't wait.
I don't know.
How are you looking? I mean, you had the Netflix doc, you had a memoir. I mean, I feel like we're getting so much Pam Anderson now in the last few years. How are you looking at this era of your life?
This is a harvest of all I've put into myself. So this is harvest time. This is something I'm really enjoying. I don't know what's next. But I'll tell you, if this is all there is, I'm happy too because I never thought it would all I never expected it. And so I'm just enjoying the moment and I'm really happy in the moment and kind of I don't know what's happening next, so it's a little bit mysterious, but that's my favorite place to be. I'm excited to serve everything. It's so good. It's gonna be delicious. I mean, I want to serve it all. I can't wait.